It is an security for an layer 3. I think the screen కనపడుతుంది అనుకుంటా కదా.
Yeah.
Okay. మనం ఈరోజు we are discussing about IPsec, which is an internet protocol security. Okay. The main funda of this IPsec is మన మెయిన్ మోటో ఏంటి అంటే we don't have any protection for our IPsec traffic on the network layer, right? Whatever going through the internet, if we won't have any security for that. Manakem security it will go into the internet within plain text or whatever it may be. We don't have any encryption or hashing on that traffic or data that is flowing through the internet on this network layer. So ఇది మనం అచీవ్ చేయడానికి ఐపీసెక్ని కనిపెట్టారు అనమాట. ఐపీసెక్ ఈజ్ ఎ ప్రోటోకాల్ which is used to protect IP traffic, and it will protect the IP traffic based upon some features. Like we have certain features. మనకి కొన్ని ఫీచర్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఈ ఐపీసెక్లో. హౌ ద IP traffic is protected using this IPsec. Okay, what are those features? Means one is an confidentiality. Okay, confidentiality అంటే ఏంటంటే how IPsec will achieve the confidentiality. Confidentiality means by encrypting the data, whatever the data is flowing through the tunnel, or after forming the tunnel, how the IPsec maintain the confidentiality means by encrypting the data. Okay, encryption means the one who is sitting on the internet can't read this when this encryption is done on our data. Okay, ఎప్పుడైతే మనం డేటాని ఎన్క్రిప్ట్ చేసామో nobody can read except the sender and receiver, because on encrypting the sender will encrypt the data using some keys like public key, and it will send to the receiver, and the receiver will decrypt that using a private key and read the whatever the data it sends. So the mainly the confidentiality in the IPsec will be achieved by encrypting the data. Okay, where sender and receiver will be able to read the exact data. No other can read that. Okay, and the second feature is integrity. How integrity will be achieved? How integrity will be achieved means by hashing the data. Hashing the data means nobody, if anyone sitting on the internet and trying to access, and if they're trying to access, they will access, but they won't change the data. Okay, if see here, this is one peer, we can call it as a peer, and this is another peer which is being encrypted, which is where we have configured a tunnel. Okay, let us consider this is an IPsec tunnel, and how the integrity work is. Integrity works in the by achieving integrity we can use an hash. So integrity is achieved by hash. Okay, integrity is achieved by hash. What it will do is, from the sender to the receiver we are sending some data. Okay, let us consider we are sending the data ABC. Okay, how this integrity will be achieved? Like it will be, the ABC will be hashed. Okay, Hash instance, it will be converted some like some unknown values. We don't know what exactly it is. Okay, and once it
Okay.
is sent to the tunnel, the nobody can change this data. Okay, it will be hash with the it will be hashed and it will be sent to the this will be hashed and it will send to the sender from here, sorry, the sender to the receiver, and it will be coming here, and the same whatever the values that we have sent here, the receiver must receive that same values. Okay, like it will be received abc, it will decode this hash. Okay, whatever the hash values it coming on the receiver, it will decode hash and it will convert the same whatever the text that you have abc, and it will read the abc. So by hashing the values, whatever the data that it's sending, the integrity will be achieved between the sender and receiver. Okay,
The hash algorithm 128 to 256 encryption, right? I think.
yes, that is the hashing algorithms. Yeah.
Okay.
And authentication means it will tell who you are. Okay, the sender and receiver will authenticate each other to make sure that is it really talking to the intended one. Okay, between the sender and receiver we have authentication will be happen. So the sender will know who the receiver are, and the receiver also know who the is the correct sender or not. Okay, and the sender also will authenticate the receiver with whether the receiver will be the intended one or not. The mainly it will tell the who you are. Okay,
Okay.
anti-reply means even if the packet is even we are encrypted the packet and authenticated, and whenever the attacker tried to grab the packet, and if they made some changes, even though we have encrypted and authenticated, sometimes the packet will be encrypted, the packet will be grabbed, and the attacker may change the values and send them again. So by using the anti-replay, they will use the sequence numbers. Okay, once the sequence numbers changes, the IPsec will not transmit any such type of packets. Okay, if the sequence number changes, and these anti-replay packets will be using the sequence numbers. If any of the data is changing in between, the sequence number may change. So if the receiving sequence number is changing, and these IPsec packets will not be received or transmitted in through the IPsec tunnel. Okay,
Okay.
and these are the main features where we can achieve IPsec uh, uh, internet protocol security to flow from sender and the receiver. And the next thing is, yeah, this is how the encryption algorithms. See here, this is the encryption algorithms. DES, 3DS, and AES are the encryption algorithms, and authentication MD5, SHA, and this is the defilements. And we have an hashing algorithms as well, where we can use uh, one firewall and 126 such type of hashing algorithms will have this.
Okay.
And we have an, yeah, there are types of VPNs. We have multiple types of VPNs where we can use between different devices. Okay, we have site-to-site VPNs where we can use between routers and routers, between routers and routers, and firewalls and firewalls. We can mainly call as an gateways. Okay, site-to-site VPNs mainly created between the gateways. if you have a router on other both routers on both ends like this, if we have, if we consider this as an router, and if this is an router, the IP site to site will be found between the router and router, or firewall or firewall, which we call as an gateways as well. Okay, this is one gateway, this is other gateway. The site to site will be found between the gateways. Okay,
Yeah.
you can call it as an site to site between gateways. And other one is an remote site access, remote access VPN.
Global product example.
We can call this a global protect, where these remote access VPN can be found between the routers and the systems, Windows or Linux. Okay, if we call it as this is an remote site access. If we see this the tunnel formed between these Windows and routers or gateways, we can call it as a remote site access VPNs. Okay, we can also have an SSL VPNs where the packets are negotiated using the SSL handshake. Okay, those we call as an SSL VPNs. So mostly the remote site access VPNs will be formed using both in the Palo Alto. The remote access VPNs can be found with we using both SSL and IPsec. Okay, we can discuss more about in the global protect topic. So you can just make a note of it. This remote site access VPN uses both SSL VPN and IPsec. Okay.
నాకు ఒక క్వశ్చన్. ఇక్కడ మనకి కార్పొరేట్ ఆఫీసెస్ ఉంటాయి కదా ఇండియాలో, యూఎస్ఏలో.
Yeah,
సో అవన్నీ సైట్ టు సైట్ ద్వారానే ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అయ్యి ఉంటాయి అవన్నీ.
maybe. Uh,
కార్పొరేట్ ఆఫీసెస్ సపోజ్ మనకి ఎక్స్వైజెడ్ హైదరాబాద్లో ఉంది.
oh no.
సేమ్ ఎక్స్వైజెడ్ బ్రాంచ్ ఆఫీస్ యూఎస్ఏలో ఉంది.
Yeah.
సో ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యన కనెక్షన్ అనేది ఈ సైట్ టు సైట్ ద్వారా ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసుకుంటారా? వాళ్ళు ఎలా ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేస్తారు? అంటే
Yeah.
మొత్తం వీళ్ళకి లోకల్ ల్యాన్ లాగా ఉండాలి కదా.
Yeah, if you have the XYZ in Hyderabad and XYZ office in the USA, if you want connection between these two, they must be from the site to site only.
ఓకే.
Yeah,
ఇంకా వేరే ఆప్షన్ ఏమైనా ఉందా, అలాగే చేస్తారా ఎవరైనా?
మోస్ట్లీ ఇది ఒకటే ఆప్షన్ మనకి ఐపీసెక్ అనేది మాత్రమే ఆప్షన్.
సో ఇప్పుడు వరకు అన్ని కంపెనీలు అయితే సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నాయి. నో అదర్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అయితే లేదు.
No other concept, because this is the only security that we have for the network layer.
ఓకే.
Yeah. And if we see this, these are the types of VPN. We have site to site and remote site, and we have in the IPsec we have two phases where data we can protect IP packets using these phases. Okay, once once these phases are built and everything is up, the firewalls or the gateways will route the traffic or the data using this phase 1 and phase 2, because this phase 1 is used to mainly the phase 1, the purpose of the phase 1 is to route the management traffic. Okay, to route the management traffic as well as to send the key pillars. And this is also phase 1 is also used to form a secure tunnel for secure channel for that phase 2. Once the phase 1 is up, the tunnel will be formed where phase 2 will be built up. Okay, in the IPsec phase 1 we can use a protocol called IKE. Okay, IKE means internet key exchange. This is a protocol will be used in the phase 1. Okay, where it can exchange all the parameters in the phase 1, and sorry, the key exchange is a protocol that you can use in the IPsec, where in the phase 1 and phase 2 it will negotiate some parameters. Okay, whatever the parameters we have discussed here, right? These are the authentication, hashing, authentication, in encryption, anti-reply. Along with that, it can also negotiate some parameters. Okay, This is the encryption and authentication, hashing. We have a group and the lifetime. Lifetime is also other type of parameters where it can tells the life of a phase one. Okay, by default life of a phase one will be 1 day, where we can also configurable. Okay, మనం డిఫాల్ట్గా అయితే 1 day వరకు ఫేజ్ వన్ అప్లో ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, వన్స్ if we are not receiving any key values from the parent, it will the phase one will go down. Okay, once the phase one will go down, we cannot exchange all these parameters, so that the phase one will go down. There will be no management traffic, or there will be no key values will be sent, and eventually the phase two will also go down. Okay.
కాదు కాదు నాకు అర్థమైన కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఫస్ట్ ఐకేఈ ఫేస్ వన్ అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అవుతుంది.
Yeah.
ఆన్ టాప్ ఆఫ్ ఫేస్ వన్ ఫేస్ టూ అనేది ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అవుతుంది, అవునా?
No, on top of that phase one, not on top of the phase. Once the phase one is up, it will be used for building the phase two. Okay. If
ఓకే.
you if I want to show you the diagram, see here, this is the IKE phase one tunnel where it will build between the two routers or two firewalls. Once this tunnel one is built up, it will be used to form the secure channel for this phase two. Okay.
ఓకే. సో
Once this
టనల్ ఫామ్ చేసుకుంటుంది.
Yeah,
ఓకే.
once this phase two, phase one and phase two is up, the peers router one or router two will able to send that data securely from one end to other end.
ఓకే, ఫేస్ వన్లో ఓన్లీ టనల్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది అథెంటికేట్ చేసుకుని, ఫేస్ టూకి డేటా పాస్ అవుతుంది.
Yeah, phase both phase one phase two will use some parameters to come up. Okay,
ఓకే.
if you see here in the phase one, we can negotiate the parameters. In the phase two also, it will also negotiate the parameters, same like encryption, authentication, hashing. There are some parameters, encryption, authentication, and there will be an protocol where in the phase two there will be a protocol will be used. Okay, there also the both routers has to negotiate those parameters to bring the phase two up. Okay, there are certain parameters in both phase one and phase two to bring that up. Once phase one and phase two comes up, the data will be flown through the phase two. Okay, అర్థమైందా?
ఓకే. యా యా.
See here, the phase one tunnel is only used for the management traffic, and we can use the tunnel as a secure method to establish the second tunnel, which is an phase two. It will be used for the secure tunnel, secure method to establish a phase two as well. Okay, phase one. We are calling the phase one as an secure channel for the phase two.
మరి ఎంత సెక్యూరిటీ ఉన్న హ్యాకింగ్ అనేది జరుగుద్ది, ఎక్కడ లూప్ హోల్ ఉండడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది.
There may be some chances. మనకి పబ్లిక్ ఐపీస్ ఉంటాయి కదా, పబ్లిక్ ఐపీస్ అందరికీ తెలుస్తాయి, కానీ దెర్ మే బీ ఛాన్సెస్ దే హ్యాకర్స్ విల్ ట్రై టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ సమ్ మల్టిపుల్.
ఇంకా అది ఏ లెవెల్లో జరుగుతుంది మరి, అదే హ్యాకింగ్ అయితే విపరీతంగా చేస్తూ ఉంటారు అక్కడ.
There will be cyber security mostly based upon this IPsec only for transferring of data securely. Once that phase 2 is up, the data will be sent through this phase 2 tunnel securely. Okay, and this is about the phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, in this we use one in this phase 1 we use an protocol. This is an ISACM. We can call it an ISACM, which is an Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol. This protocol will establish a session between the sender and the receiver, and so that the parameters between the devices will be exchanged, and those parameters will called as an security association. Okay, these parameters, whatever the parameter we can call it as an, these parameters we can call it as an security association. Okay, we can see more about in the packet capture. I will show you in the packet capture the security associations, which what includes in the security association. Okay, actually these are the key terms we need to మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన key terms ఇవే. This is a ఇది ప్రోటోకాల్ అనమాట, ఐపీసెక్ ఫేజ్ 1లో యూజ్ చేసే ప్రోటోకాల్. అండ్ మనం పారామీటర్స్ ఏవైతే యూజ్ చేస్తామో వాటిని సెక్యూరిటీ అసోసియేషన్ అంటాం అనమాట. And this is phase 1 and phase 2. This is about phase 1 and phase 2. And these are the IPsec modes. In the IPsec, after forming the after bringing up phase 1 and phase 2, we have two protocols, like two methods where we can use in the IPsec protocol. Okay, one is an transparent mode, and second one is an tunnel mode. What is tunnel mode and what is transparent mode means? Tunnel mode where we can use between the gateways. Okay, between the gateways we can use a tunnel mode, which is also a default mode. If we configure an IPsec, we don't need to mention tunnel mode. Okay, it will always be when we configure the site to site VPN, the tunnel mode will be an a default mode. Okay, why? Because in the tunnel mode, when we are sending the data, we have an headers, right? L2, L1, L2, L3, right? So the original L3 header will be protected by the new IP header. This tunnel mode will insert new IP header, and it will form an it will be the original IP header will be protected by the new IP header. Okay, we can discuss more about this in the where tunnel mode, where we can configure where we have an phase 2 we have and protocols, right? There are certain two protocols we'll be using, and we can discuss more about that in that tunnel mode transmode. Okay, see here, this tunnel mode is most commonly used between the site to site gateways, where we are configuring the IPsec tunnel between the gateways. And but in the transparent mode, it will be used in the end-to-end connection. Okay, this is the endpoint, and this is also endpoint. For communication between the endpoints, we can use a transparent mode, but transparent mode is not as much secure as a tunnel, because the original IP header will be encapsulated with the new IP header, where in the tunnel mode, where in the transparent mode we don't encapsulate that new IP header, we can just encapsulate only the data. Okay,
Yeah.
and if we go through that, yeah, in the phase 1 we this is the phase 1 where we have negotiate we I mention about certain parameters, right? In the IPsec phase 1 we have negotiate between some parameter will be negotiated between the sender and receiver. What are those parameters? Which one is an hashing. Okay, where we can hash the data to achieve the integrity. And authentication, we can use authentication to authenticate each other, and also let us know that the data is transferring to the intended server, intended sender or the receiver. Okay, here in that IPsec, we can use two types of authentication. One is an pre-shared key, which we can configure while configuring the IPsec tunnel, or the digital certificates. Okay, we can use the digital certificate as well. If we are not using a pre-shared key, we need to use the digital signatures, where we can get from the third party, or we can configure in our firewall itself. For mostly digital certificates will not be used, but most probably pre-shared key is used between the two IPsec bits, because this is an easy way to get authenticated, and also this is a easy way to configure, because at the time of configuration we can configure pre-shared key. Okay, pre-shared key we can configure, and the same pre-shared key will be also used on the other side. Okay, we can comes to know when we are configuring the IPsec. Okay, and this is a group that is going to exchange, negotiate between the sender and receiver, and the higher number is the strength of the key. Okay, if you are using there are some type of groups, group 1, group 2, group 3. The higher number is the strength of the key, more secure. Okay, and the higher group number are more secure but take longer to compute. Okay, and the lifetime means how long the IKE phase 1 is up. Okay, by default it will use an yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it will be the lifetime of an phase 1 is an 1 day. Okay, which is 86,400 seconds. And once the lifetime is complete, it will again generate a new IPsec tunnel, sorry, IPsec phase 1 by rekeying. Okay, the tunnel won't go down, but it will generate a new IPsec for new keying. Okay, using the new key material.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, different vendor use a different lifetime, but by default it will be an 1 day. The IPsec phase 1 will be up for 1 day. Okay, and this is a encryption algorithm. Okay, encryption algorithm means yeah, as we discussed in the previous slides, the encryption means uh, the sender and the receiver only read the data. Okay, where the data will be encrypted and decrypted using some certain keys. And we can, for example, we can use an encryption algorithm like DES, REDS, AES. Okay, and these are the phase 1. And we can there are in the phase 1 we can have an two modes, like in the phase 1, sorry, in the phase 1 we have two modes. In the whatever we have discussed here, right, here we have discussed about step 1, and in the step 2 we have an DH key exchange, where here we have discussed about the negotiation, right? Whatever the DH key we have negotiated here, the DH key will be exchanged between the sender and the receiver. Okay, whatever the DH key we have negotiated, whether it is in group 1 or whether it is in group 2, whether it is in group 24. Okay, whatever the group that we have negotiated here, the it will be exchanged in the DH key exchange in the step 2. Okay, and after that the authentication will be happen here, whatever the authentication method we are using here, it will negotiate a authentication method. But in the step 3 it will actual authentication method will be happen here. But these authentication on the step 3, these authentication methods will be an encrypted format only. We can't see what actually is going on, because if you are not encrypting if it is in plain text, if anyone want to see that packet, it will see the packet and it will come to know the what are the credentials that are using, and what is the authentication method they are using. They will be easily be identified. So on the third step, the authentication will be in the encrypted format only. Okay, once the authentication method will be negotiated here, the actual authentication will be happen here on this step 3. Okay, This means that both
Yeah.
bits can send and receive. After this authentication, the both bits will be able to send and receive the traffic on this tunnel. Okay, and in the IPsec, IPsec phase one, we have two modes. One is an main mode, and another one is an aggressive mode. Okay, let us discuss about the phase one main mode. Yeah, we have phase one main mode, and this main mode is mainly used in the we can use main mode. We can call it as a main mode as an secure method. Okay, we have an 6 messages. Whatever the messages, whatever the steps we have discussed here, these 3 steps, we have 3 steps, right? These 3 steps will be exchanged between the sender and receiver. Okay, just a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the steps we have discussed here. Okay, మనం ఏదైతే స్టెప్ 1 స్టెప్స్ 2 స్టెప్ 3 డిస్కస్ చేశామో ఇక్కడ ఈ 3 స్టెప్స్ అనేది సెండర్ అండ్ రిసీవర్ మధ్య ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట. సో దట్ విల్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ అండ్ 6 మెసేజెస్. ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్ మెసేజ్, ఇన్ ద మెసేజ్ 1,
సో రౌటర్స్ మధ్యన ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవుతాయా లేకపోతే ఫైర్ వాల్స్ మధ్యన ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవుతాయా?
రౌటర్స్ అనే కదా మనం ఏది కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తే అది. ఇక్కడ రౌటర్స్ మధ్య కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తే రౌటర్స్ మధ్య ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవుతాయి. ఫైర్ వాల్ అయితే ఫైర్ వాల్ అనమాట.
ఓకే.
In the first message is from the sender. Okay, from the sender the first message will be sent to the receiver. What are the in the first message, as we discussed, it will negotiate the parameters, right? What are the parameters we have? Hashing algorithm, authentication, group, lifetime, and encryption. Okay, these are the parameters that will be exchanged. We can call these parameters as an security association. Okay, security association. And for our understanding, I have made it as an haggle parameters. Okay, haggle means h means hashing, a means authentication, g means group, l means lifetime, and e means encryption. Okay, these are the parameters. We can call it as an for our understanding purpose, I made it as an haggle, where these 5 parameters will be exchanged from negotiated between sender and receiver in the first message. Okay, these same messages will be sent from the in the second message from sender to receiver. Okay, if we call it as an message 2 from the receiver, the same haggle parameters will be exchanged here. Okay, this is about first message and second message. And the third message is from this is a third message where it is exchange DH group or DH key exchange. Whatever the group that it has negotiated here, it will exchange here in the DH group exchange. Okay, and the same thing will be, this is from the sender. The message is 3 is from the sender, and message 4 is from the receiver, where it will also exchange the DH key exchange. Okay, and in the message 5 from the sender, what it will exchange, it will do an authentication. Okay, to know who you are. Okay, in this message file and is from the sender, which is used for the authentication, where the sender will authenticate the server, and this is in the form of encrypted, okay, encryption form. The authentication will be encrypted. So in the message 6 as well, it is from the receiver. The same authentication will be happen here in the encrypted format. Okay. In the encrypted format, it will be send the authentication. So these are the 6 messages will be used in the main mode. Okay. So this main mode will be secure because the 5th and 6th messages are in encrypted format. Okay. Main mode is secure, and if we in the main mode we can use the 6 messages, and main mode is then secure, and it will take the long time, okay, to process to complete the phase 1. It will take the long time because we have a 6 messages, right? These 6 messages has to complete, so it will take the long time. But in the aggressive mode, it will have only the 3 messages. 3 messages. What it will have? All these will have this, right? The first message, second message, third message, fourth message, and fifth message. What it will do is this all the 5 messages will be sent from sender to receiver in one message. Okay. From in the message 1, we will have haggle parameters. Okay. And DH key exchange as well as authentication. Okay. This is from the sender. Sorry. This message is from the sender. And message 2 is from the receiver. With the receiver, it will also send all the haggle parameters and DH key exchange and also authentication. Here we are authenticating, right? In the main mode, the authentication will be encrypted. Okay. Here we are seeing that encrypted authentication is an encrypted, but in the aggressive mode, the authentication will be not encrypted. Okay. It will be in plain text. Okay. So the main mode is more secure than aggressive mode because the authentication will be encrypted in the main mode, and the authentication will not encrypted in the aggressive mode. And we have in the third message, it is from the message 3, it is from the sender. This is just an acknowledgement. Okay. This is just acknowledgement. Some bytes of data will be sent. Okay. These are the 3 messages will be used in the aggressive mode. In the main mode, we have 6 messages. In the aggressive mode, we have 3 messages. And main mode is more secure because the authentication will be in encrypted format, but here the authentication will be in the plain text. Okay. This
యూజువల్గా ఏదో ఒకటి మాత్రమే కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తారు, ఏదర్ మెయిన్ మోడ్.
కాన్ఫిగర్ కాదు, బై ఆటోమేటిక్ బై డిఫాల్ట్ మెయిన్ మోడే ఉంటుంది అనమాట. కావాలనుకుంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి అథెంటికేషన్ ప్లెయిన్ టెక్స్ట్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి దిస్ విల్ బి యూజ్డ్ రేర్ వెరీ రేర్ ఇన్ సెన్స్ వేర్ we no need any insecure data like we have an telnet, right, where we can use telnet. In the telnet we can use an aggressive mode, which is an insecure way of connecting. Okay. So there will be use an aggressive mode. In the main mode, we'll use an where we can form an IPsec tunnel between the site to site. These are the basic differences. This main mode will take an more time because it has to process all the 6 messages, right? In the aggressive mode, this is an quick method to connect, okay? And because it has only a 3 messages to process. This is all about the phase 1 where we have main mode and aggressive mode. If we go on to the phase 2, we have only one method, which we call as an quick. In the phase 2 we have only one method, okay, which we call as an quick method. And here also we'll have only a 3 messages, okay, where these all the in the quick method all the 3 messages will be encrypted because already phase 1 already formed, right? So once the phase 1 is formed, it will be an secure method to form a phase 2, right? So in this quick method, all the messages will be in the encrypted format, okay? We can't see what exact the data it is flowing, but if you want to be మనం phase 2 అప్ చేయాలంటే ఇది కూడా certain parameters negotiate చేయాలి, which we can call as an pagal parameters, where p is an protocol. What is the protocol it has to be used between in the phase 2 between the sender and the receiver? There are certain protocols we can use. Those protocols are AH protocol and ESP protocol, okay. These are the two protocols we can use in the phase 2. AH is an authentication header. Sorry, it has become two methods. ESP and AH means authentication header, okay, and ESP means encryption security payload, okay. And these are the protocols, right, where AH is an authentication header and ESP is an encryption security payload, okay. These are the two protocols that are going to negotiate. And P means pagal, sorry, P means protocol, and A means here same authentication, okay, authentication. And G means group. We have also a group that is going to negotiate between the beats. And L is an lifetime, same as an phase 1 we have an lifetime, but we have an maximum of lifetime in the phase 2 will be a maximum of 8 hours only, okay. And it will be a configurable, you can also change based on our requirement, but by default the lifetime of this phase 2 is an 8 hours. And E is an also encryption. These are the parameters that are going to negotiate between the sender and the receiver in the phase 2. And this will be exchanged between the uh, sender and receiver, but we cannot see because we have already formed an phase 1 tunnel which is secure to form an IPsec phase 2. So these all we have also I can call it as, and we can also have the 3 messages here, okay. These 3 messages will be exchanged between sender and receiver in the encrypted format, okay. And this is
ఫేజ్ 1 తర్వాత ఖచ్చితంగా ఫేజ్ 2 కూడా ఆటోమేటిక్
ఏంటండి?
ఫేజ్ 2 మొత్తం ఆటోమేటిక్ ప్రాసెసేనా ఆఫ్టర్ ఫేజ్ 1?
లేదు లేదు, మనం కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయాల్సిందే. మనం
ఓకే.
బోత్ సైడ్స్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయాల్సిందే. ఫేజ్ 1 కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయాలి, ఫేజ్ 2 కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయాలి. బట్ ఫేజ్ 1 కాన్ఫిగర్ అంటే ఐ మీన్ ఫేజ్ 1 ఫామ్ అయిన తర్వాతనే ఫేజ్ 2 ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. అంటిల్ అంటే ఫేజ్ 1 ఈజ్ అప్, phase 1 is not up, the phase 2 won't come up. Okay.
ఓకే.
And we can also see some scenarios like phase 1 is not coming up. Okay, మనం చూస్తుంటాం ఎట్లా అంటే phase 1 is not coming up. Phase 1 is not coming up in the sense this has to be match on both sides. Okay, these haggle parameters has to match whatever the parameters we are configured here, the same parameters we have to configure on the other side as well. Like we have an hash algorithm, right? SHA, we have MD5. If you are using SHA, there will be a SHA 126, SHA 512. There are multiple hash algorithms. Okay, if you are using SHA 126, we need to use SHA 126 on the other side as well. So if you are seeing that phase, if you are hearing about phase in the IPsec, phase 1 is not coming up, there will be an issue with these parameters. Maybe they have configured wrong lifetime. Okay, they maybe they have configured and wrong encryption. And in this I have forgot about pre-shared key. Yeah, we need to configure pre-shared key as well here in the phase 1. Okay, in the phase 1 we have an pre-shared key where we have also the pre-shared key should be matched. If you are configuring pre-shared key 1 2 3 4 5 6 on the this side, the same can be configured on the 1 2 3 4 5 6. During negotiation this will be compared. If you are seeing 1 2 3 4 5 6 on the one side and 1 2 3 4 5 on the other side, this is not matching, right? So the phase 1 won't come up. These are the certain criteria where we can, while doing that we can see all the things. But నేను ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నాను, okay, just a remember. Okay, and the same thing you can also see that phase 2 is not coming up. Phase 1 is up, but phase 2 is not coming up. The same thing, we need to negotiate whatever the parameter it is negotiating. The same parameters has to match on both sides. Okay. And if you are seeing the lifetime as an 8 hours here, and if you are configuring lifetime as in 3 hours on the other side, the lifetime should not match. And as well as authentication, if you are using the protocol H on one side and protocol ESP on other side, there might be an issue with the protocol, right? So we can know. If you want to see the logs in the Palo Alto, there will be some daemon like ikemgr.log, where all the IPsec messages will be recorded in this log. So we can, if you are facing any issue with the IPsec, we can directly go through this log, and we can see what messages, what parameters exchange in phase 1, and what messages will be it will be exchanging in the phase 2. All will be recorded in the ikemgr.log. So if you are facing any issues, you can directly go through the ikemgr log. Apart from this, we can see the IPsec logs as well in the system logs. Okay, we have an system logs in the monitor tab where we can see the system logs. And
ఇప్పుడు
this is
ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేయాలంటే మనకి 2 ఫైర్ వాల్స్ కావాలా?
yeah, for sure we need an two firewalls between the yeah we need a two firewalls to form an IPsec tunnel. This is one firewall and this is another firewall.
ఇప్పుడు ఐపీసెక్ టనల్ దీన్నే ఇప్పుడు సైట్ టు సైట్ అని కూడా అనుకోవచ్చా అప్పుడు దీన్ని?
Yeah, సైట్ టు సైటే మనం ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడుకునేది.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
దీన్ని సైట్ టు సైట్ అంటాం.
ఓకే.
ఇక్కడ మనకి నేను ఇక్కడ పీసీ పెట్టాను చూడు, పీసీకి ఒక గేట్వేకి. దిస్ ఈజ్ అండ్ రిమోట్ సైట్ యాక్సెస్ విపిఎన్ అంటాం ఇది. దిస్ ఈజ్ అండ్ రిమోట్ సైట్. ఇది ఉంది కదా, ఇది రిమోట్ సైట్ అనుకోవచ్చు, ఇది సైట్ టు సైట్. అదే చెప్పాను కదా, సైట్ టు సైట్ అంటే మీన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద గేట్వేస్. గేట్వేస్ మీన్స్ router or the router and the firewall on the firewall. And the remote access means Windows or Linux machines between the Linux machine or Windows machine with router or the firewall or the gate. We can call it as an gateways. We can call it as an remote site, remote access VPNs. And this is all about IPsec phase 1 and phase 2. And we need to discuss about transport modes and the protocols that will be used in the IPsec. Okay, we can continue that in the tomorrow class, and that is a small topic only. We have an other topic called NAT transversal. Okay, NAT transversal means see, if the IPsec tunnel formed between the site one peer to other peer, there will be no device, right? If there is any NAT device in the between the two routers or two gateways, we need a NAT transversal. Okay, that will be discussed more detail about tomorrow class. Okay, this is for today. This will be enough, right? Okay, this will be enough. You can go. I will share the document in sometime in the website, so that you can use that and you can go through that phase 1 and phase 2, and you can make sure we'll do a lab. We can do a lab tomorrow. Okay, after discussing about the transport modes and IPsec protocol. Okay.
Yeah.
And here one thing I have to tell you that in the IPsec will be used an UDP port 500. Okay, make a note of it. IPsec use an UDP port source 500 and destination is also 500. It will use an source 500 and destination is also an 500. This is an UDP protocol used by the IPsec, and UDP port is an 500. Okay. This is also one thing you have to note down. And to brief about this today's class, we have discussed about what is IPsec and what are the IPsec features like confidentiality, integrity, and authentication, anti-replay. Okay, and what is IPsec phase 1 and IPsec phase 2, and IPsec modes, transport mode and tunnel mode, where we use transport mode and where we use tunnel mode. And we have also discussed about the IPsec phase 1 messages and in the main mode and also in the aggressive mode messages, and also the phase 2. And in the phase 2 we can use the quick method, where we can use an in the quick message, with the quick method we use 3 messages. All the 3 messages will be an encrypted form. Okay, and to be precise, I will show you an some packet capture. Yeah. ఇక్కడ చూస్తే మనకి ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి చూడండి, ప్యాకెట్ క్యాప్చర్ అనేది మనకి ఇక్కడ 205 నుంచి 200, సోర్స్ ఇస్ అండ్ 205 అండ్ డెస్టినేషన్ 200. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇది ఫస్ట్ మెసేజ్ అనమాట. 205 నుంచి 200కి ఫస్ట్ మెసేజ్ వెళ్తుంది. ఇక్కడ చూస్తే మనకి L2 హెడర్ ఉంది, అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ an L3 header. What is the protocol we are using? UDP, right? In the UDP, this is the UDP protocol. See here, the source port is 500 and destination port is in 500. Okay, and this is a UDP payload. In the UDP payload we have an IPsec, which is an as we discuss ISACAM protocol. Here we are using ISACAM protocol, and it is showing as an exporter as an security association, where we can collectively all the parameters, అన్ని parameters కలిపి మనం security association అనుకుంటాం కదా. It is showing as an security association. And what is exchange type? It is a main mode. Okay, Main mode in the sense we are by default it will take a main mode only, okay, between the site to site. And if you see here, ఇక్కడ చూస్తే మనకి ఇది పేలోడ్, సెక్యూరిటీ అసెషన్ పేలోడ్లో మనకి ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ ఉంటుంది, ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ పేలోడ్. ఇది ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ పేలోడ్. చూడండి ఇక్కడ మనకి, ఇక్కడ చూస్తే మనకి ఏమేమి పారామీటర్స్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవుతున్నాయి. లైఫ్ టైం and life duration. This is a both we can call it as a lifetime, okay. And encryption algorithm, in the encryption algorithm it is using 3ds cbc. And hashing algorithm, what is the hashing algorithm? It is using sha. And authentication, see here it is using a pre-shared key, because the pre-shared key is easy to configure. So by most probably all the, whenever IPsec is forming, they configure pre-shared key only, okay. And this is a group, this is a group they are exchanging. If you see on the second message, I think this is this is just second message. Yeah, this is a second message. See here, from the first message, it has an lifetime as 7800. In the first message also we have an lifetime as in 7800, okay. This is matching, right? And if you see here, algorithm it is using encryption algorithm 3ds cbc. And in the first message, what is algorithm it is using? And it is using 3ds cbc, it is also matching. And in the hashing algorithm, what is using? It is using sha. And in the second message it is also using sha, so it is also matching. And see, if the tunnel is not coming up, first we need to check the configuration. And if you are not finding anything, we can take the packet capture and check this transform payload, so that you can come to know what are the parameters that are it in negotiating. So if anything is not matching, that will be causing the issue, okay. You can directly tell that this is causing, exactly this is causing the issue. This is all the parameters that is going to exchange. And I think this is also same message, the second message. And yeah, this is a third message from the sender to the receiver, where it is exchange, it is exchanging the key exchange. And this is the fourth message from the receiver, same like, and the third message it is also exchange the key. See here, if we see on the fifth message, you can be, this is an authentication, where we can see as an encrypted data. See here, this is an encrypted data, okay.
Yeah.
Encrypted data, and we can't see anything here on the fifth and sixth message. And after that we can quick mode I already told that it is an encrypted data, but we can't see anything here. It is also showing as an encrypted. This is also encrypted, and this is also encrypted, okay. By this phase 1 and phase 2 is done. After that the data will be exchanged using that protocol. Here it is using a ESP protocol. By default it is also using not going with the AH, because we can discuss tomorrow in the tomorrow class we can discuss more about this AH and ESP protocol. Why, what is AH protocol, AH and ESP, why it is choosing ESP ahead of AH, okay. We can discuss more about in tomorrow's class, okay. This is all data, this is all data that is going through that. I think you have some basic idea, right, about IPsec protocol, about phase 1 and phase 2, how the data will be exchanged between between the peers, IPsec peers. We can call it as an IPsec peers or gateways.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to install another firewall for tomorrow lab?
Yes, for sure. We need another firewall as well. Have any doubts on this?
Yeah, all good.
Hi, Nagnavin.
బ్రో హాయ్ బ్రో.
మీకు ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పాను కదా ఇది ఐపీసెక్.
ఐపీసెక్ చెప్పినారు బ్రో, ఇది సిసిఎన్ఏలో
సిసిఎన్.
ఆగస్టు
యా యా యా.
సిసిఎన్ఏ బ్యాచ్లో విన్నాను.
ఓకే ఓకే.
ఐపీసెక్ టనలింగ్, ఫేస్ మెసేజ్, ఆథెంటికేషన్.
ఇది ల్యాబ్ ఏమైంది?
ల్యాబ్ అది ఓపెన్ కాలేదు బ్రో, అంటే కనెక్షన్స్ తీసుకోవడం లేదు, ఎందుకు నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
ఓకే.